Hey, yo, what is up? The last new tank being introduced on the super test server. This is the Kunze Panzer. The Kunze Panzer. Sounds kind of weird. It is a tier 9 premium tank. I suspect it's some kind of a reward tank because that's what tier 9 premium tanks are, or that's what they usually are anyway. Tier 9 reward tank of some sort. But what's special about this tank is this tank has a siege mode. Yeah, this tank has a siege mode, something like a CS-63, something like an STRV. Imagine an STRV and a CS-63 had kids. This is what would come out. It is kind of different. It is kind of special. You're going to see the siege mode affect not just the accuracy and the mobility. It affects a lot of things. It's going to affect your reload time. It's going to affect your horsepower. It's going to affect your speed. It's just a whole lot of things going on with the new siege mode in the Kunze Panzer tier 9 premium reward, let's say tier 9 premium reward medium tank. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this tank looks a bit funky. It looks cool. It looks a bit like the RU-251. It looks like the HWK-30, that kind of vibe I'm getting. High mobility, sleek looking. I like the way it looks. I'm not gonna lie, but what do I want to talk about is the siege mode. Now, this siege mode is not an automatic siege mode, not like the STB one where you just need to slow down and automatically you'll be in siege mode and you will get extra gun depression. This tank does not work that way. This tank has got a manual siege mode. That's why I mentioned the CS-63 and the STRV. You need to hit the X to activate the siege mode, and that will get you, instead of 65 kilometers an hour top speed, you will slow down to only 30 kilometers an hour top speed, but your accuracy improves. Your horsepower per ton when you activate siege mode, it goes down from 21.78 to 15. So less horsepower per ton when you activate siege mode. And in case you want to know, siege mode takes 2 seconds to activate. I guess something like the CS-63, right? It takes 2 seconds to activate, but everything improves. Your accuracy improves after that. Your reload becomes slower for some reason. I don't know why. It becomes from an 8.92 seconds without siege mode. With siege mode, your reload is going to be 11.8 seconds. So you know what I mean? This tank has got a lot of things going on for it when you're in siege mode, when you're not in siege mode. If you look at the stats, you can see for yourself. I don't know why. Why didn't they make the armor like more armor when you turn on siege mode? You might as well do it. Look at everything. The reload changes. Your gun depression changes from 10 degrees. You get 15 degrees of gun depression in siege mode. Your aim improves from 2.59 seconds. You get 1.73 seconds aim time. But so what if you have 1.73 seconds aim time? In siege mode, your reload is going to drop to 11.8 seconds from the 8.92 seconds. So that's really weird. Also, your accuracy dispersion without siege mode is 0.40. And then when you get into siege mode, your accuracy becomes the accurate sniper. 0.29 dispersion is going to be absolutely amazing. And then your moving dispersion as well. Without siege mode, you got better moving dispersions. But when you turn on siege mode, your dispersion goes to shit. Man, this tank has got just so much things going on for it. And that is why this is one of the tanks that I'm probably not going to play just as well, because this is going to be some kind of reward tank that you probably need to grind through either front lines or Steel Hunter or the whatever, the competitive mode or whatever to get this tank. So I'm definitely not going to play this tank because I don't want to, number one, I don't want to grind through Steel Hunter because it's a terrible game mode for me. I don't enjoy it. And number two, there's too much shit going on with this tank with the siege mode. One of the reasons why I don't play a lot of these tanks that have siege modes, dual modes like the CS-63, the EBRs, the STRVs, anything that you need to hit an X on, I generally avoid. I don't even play any of them, although I do have the EBR. And one of the reasons why I don't play these tanks with these siege modes, it's because it is another skill that I need to learn, another skill that I need to spend a lot of time practicing and getting better at. Now, I don't mind the EBRs so much because the tier 8 EBRs, I actually can play them in frontline battles, and I can become a real pro after a couple of sessions with the EBR. The tier 8 one anyway, but the tier 10 one I don't even play at all. Even for clan activities, I don't even use the tank. I have purple equipment, but I don't play it. Why? Because I'm not good at it. I don't spend any time playing it. I don't practice enough on it to be really good. Now, I could probably play it and get away with it. I could probably do okay with it, but I don't want to play this game and just be okay. I want to be doing well. I want to be playing better than 3/4 of the server. You know what I mean? I want to be playing well, and if I can't do that, I need to spend a lot of time doing it. I might as well just skip it and forget about it. In case you didn't know, if you looked at your email and they sent you like a report card of how many games you played last year, in 2020 I only played a total of 444 games. That is less than 2 games every day on average. So a tank like this with so many intricacies and so many little things that you need to learn, and it takes time to get used to a tank like this, to get good at it, especially if you want to dominate and be in the top percentile of the server. If you want to be one of the best players and perform as one of the top players on the server, you need to spend time playing this tank. If you're going to mark this tank, I suppose you're going to do that because you're going to play 50, 100 games in this tank in order to mark it, sure. But if I'm going to be playing less than 2 games every day on average, I don't think this tank is going to be the tank for me. I'm not going to squeeze out the maximum potential of this tank. If I'm going to play 1 game with this tank every day, I'm probably not going to do very well in this tank, and it's probably not going to be the tank for me. I'm going to probably skip this tank just like I skip the CS-63, just like I skip the STRV, and just like I have the EBR 105 just sitting in my garage rotting. Although I must say this tank does look nice. The stats also, they look nice either way. I don't know. I wish they didn't make this siege mode like a manual siege mode. If they made this siege mode an automatic siege mode, example, if you just slowed down and the siege mode will turn on by itself, I think I can deal with that. I would actually prefer that very much, because it's not going to make me think of another thing that I need to do. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe if I get this tank as a rental, maybe I could test it out and give a clearer picture of how I feel about this tank. But judging from what I know so far about its manual siege mode, and look at the amount of stats that you need to at least have a rough idea how it works before you can actually perform or try to perform well in this tank. You need to remember that this tank reloads 8.92 seconds in fast mode, and it reloads 11.8 seconds in siege mode. You need to remember that the dispersion is terrible in travel mode and it's good in siege mode. Man, there's so many things. What do you think? Let me know. Leave a comment and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.